It's wireless, it has up to 200 millimeters of travel, and you can probably guess the brand when you see that gold Kashima coating. So you may be thinking Fox is kind of late to the party when it comes to wireless dropper seat posts. There's been a few manufacturers in the industry for a couple years now, but there's some technology in the seat post that there's a reason that they waited to release it at this point. Now, if you're familiar with Fox's history with electronic suspension, they had the live valve system. That was a wired system from several years ago. And really when they were creating this new Neo product, and Neo is what they're referring to as their wireless connection protocol, they really wanted to create a system that was wireless, but still had the same speed as a wired connection. And typically it's much faster to have a wired connection than wireless. So the new Neo system is 100 times faster than Bluetooth and also 20 times faster than any other wireless system currently in the mountain bike space. So some cool feature about this seat post. First of all, visually, you're gonna notice that the battery is located around the collar of the seat post and not at the top of the seat post as a lot of the competitors. The main reason they did this was for tire clearance. Basically having the battery up here on frames with low insertion with a low height of the seat, that rear wheel can come up and basically hit the battery out of the seat post. So they kind of put it down here and shifted it sideways. So it basically allows for the most clearance possible so that that battery is always going to be secured right there. Just like a lot of Fox's products, this transferred Neo post will be available both in a factory version, which is a Kashima coat on the stanchion, and also a Performance Elite version, which will have the black stanchion if gold is not your thing. So one cool feature of the Neo post is that it has an air chamber inside of it with a standard Schrader valve, like a lot of traditional dropper posts have. And by changing the PSI rating in that seat post, it allows you to change the speed at which it pops up. So right now it's near max PSI in the chamber, so it's a very quick actuation, but you could go a little faster than that even if you wanted, and you can also slow it down a fair amount by lowering that PSI. So that's one cool feature of this post that isn't available on some of the electronic posts on the market. So we think it's really cool that Fox, took that initiative to allow people to make that adjustment. One of the things that we're most excited about is if you took out a ruler and measured the distance from here to here, that's 200 millimeters. So there's been some other wireless dropper posts that haven't achieved this height. So it's really cool to see Fox release their brand new product in offerings of 25 mil increments all the way up to the very much desired 200 millimeter post. So along with this electronic seat post, Fox also has developed an app to help you get the best function out of the post. A couple things that they have is, first thing is transport mode. So what that allows is basically this seat post basically wakes up when it feels the bike moving. So in order to avoid it draining battery while you're transporting it in the back of your car or on a tailgate, in the app you can put it into transport mode, which essentially makes it fall asleep so that it won't be draining your battery while you are transporting the bike from one place to another. One of the cooler features of the seat post is a bike park mode, which is what they call it. And what that does is basically, while you're riding at bike park, you can go into the app and change it to this mode where essentially you'll have to click the lever at least 4 or 5 times in a row, and that will make the seat post wake up. So essentially while you're riding park laps, there's no way to accidentally hit the lever and have the post shoot up. You have to essentially hit it multiple times to wake the system up. And then after that, if you wanted to go back into bike park mode, you'd have to go back into the app and trigger it to be in that mode. But we thought that was a cool idea that they brought to the table to just kind of make it a more safe system for when you're not looking to be climbing. So the range on the seat post is about 20 to 40 hours of operation. And there's the rechargeable battery in the back here, and the post comes with all the cables and charging units you need to charge that at your house. It also has a standard coin battery in the lever, which will last a year and a half on average with use of the seat posts regularly. Another cool part about the app, going back to that, is that it actually tracks how many times you actuate the post, and keeps track of that number. And they basically have service intervals that they recommend based off of number of uses. So you can really get that dial in and know exactly when to service your post, so that it's always operating at the best it can. So a couple of final features to talk about with the new NeoPost. First of all, if I mentioned some of the features you can access through the app, that app doesn't have to be on your body while you're riding. If you leave your phone in the car while you go ride, that's totally fine. The Seatpost will operate completely normal without being close to that phone. Another really cool design that Fox introduced with their mechanical transfer post is a designated size for 34.9 millimeter seat tubes. So essentially, the 34.9 version of this post actually has a bigger diameter for the main shaft of the post. It's basically, instead of just making the lower shaft bigger, they made the entire unit bigger to create more stiffness in that post. So it's cool to see them take advantage of that new kind of oversized standard that a lot of bikes are using now, and really reap the benefits of that. Now, the final part of this seat post that's really nice, in my opinion, is the lever design. So, some of the other seat posts out there that are wireless, they have levers that don't exactly feel like a normal dropper lever, whereas this one is ergonomically designed to feel very similar to the standard mechanical lever you've been using. It just has a simple thumb paddle right next to the grip. It's very low profile, so you can run it pretty close to underneath the brake, or you can even run it far away from the brake and still not have, clearance issues where it might be hitting the top tube or anything like that. And it's also a very short throw, so when you press it, it doesn't have to click very far to engage the post. So very little efforts required to engage the post, and it's, again, just a very ergonomic system and very instantly comfortable when you get on a bike with this new Neo system. So we're really excited about this new dropper post from Fox. It has some key features that we think is going to make it a favorite among the other electronic dropper posts out there on the market. We've seen a lot of new products from Fox this year, so if you're interested in learning more about Fox and their new tech, check out some other videos on our channel. Until we see you next time on the trails, don't forget to keep pedaling.